Welcome to Chris Farms and Extension Services alias Chris Farm Nigeria. Today we are bringing you to the platform of netting of your poultry house or poultry pen. Should in case you are building a poultry pen and you are asking of what kind of poultry pen you need what kind of net you need to do your poultry pen, please sit tight and watch this video to the end. But should in case you are pumping to our YouTube channel for the first time, we are into farm setup generally. Everything that has to do with farm setup, agro machines, agro installations, battery cage installations, sales of agro equipment and shipment of agro products to different parts of the world. But today we are talking about poultry house netting. Specifically, we are doing this video for our client so that he will make a choice of the kind of net he needs to do his poultry pen. All the nets are beautiful, but also same way they have their advantage, they also have their disadvantage. For this one, we want to talk about the net for your poultry house. Now, the poultry house, after finish building it using your pillars, either you're using pillar, either you're using galvanized, either you're using the galvanized and the pillar together, and you are done with the job, you've roofed, you've done your German floor, you now want to net the place. So what kind of net can I use? There are several kinds of nets you can use, and the same way you have several kinds of net, they have their own advantage, they have their own disadvantage. Now, the best one might think about is I want something that can last very long for me. Yes, we have the one that can last very long for you, like that of the fencing net. The fencing wire net is somehow big. I wish I have the sample now. I would have showed you. That one, when you use it for your poultry house, that one they use for doing wire fencing. When you use it, if you watch through our YouTube channel, you see how we talk about fencing of your plot of land or your farm using fencing wire net. That kind of net, you can use it for your poultry house. Yes, you can use it. But that one has a disadvantage. Its disadvantage is birds can fly through that net, goes into your feeder where you put in your feed, your poultry bed, your birds feed, and start feeding on them. So should in case you are opening your farm in a isolated place like the bush or in the very rural area where there are a lot of trees, there are prone to be lots of birds there. When you use that one will give you, it may give you longevity in the sense that it takes a very long time. It seldom gets spoiled because it is strong, it's made of metals, it's a strong one. It can stand a very long time before it gets spoiled. But but in the other way around, the bird itself can fly inside and consume your feed. While other ones can still be good, like this one now. This one I'm holding here is cheaper compared to that one, and this one is in 4 feet. Why that one that's used for fencing wire mesh, that one is in 6 feet. They will even have the one of 8 feet, but this one is 4 feet. Now this one, when you use this one now, I hope you can see it is hard. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. It can last long, but it cannot compare the durability with that of that one made of iron. Now, this one, when we use it for the poultry house, it will prevent birds from flying into it. But the disadvantages of this one is that it accumulates dust, like will I say dust. When you go to old poultry farms, you see those ones that are using this, you see a lot of dust on it. So what you do is once in every, let's say, 6 months, because if I say do it in 3 months, a minimum of 6 months, you get broom and water, or brush, or let's say use broom, because you can see the poultry house is high. You use this long broom, you brush it very well to clean it, because if the dust accumulating, it's a means of transferring bacteria to the birds. So when you want to do it, you don't do from inside, you don't do outside from it, you don't brush it from outside, you brush it from inside, because when you are brushing from outside, the dust will be going to meet the birds inside the cage, and therefore transferring disease to the birds, and the birds will start having cough and other things that will cause them to die. So that dust can block their nostril tract. So you don't dust from the outside, go inside and dust from inside. As you are brushing it, the dust goes out for you. So that is a way to control this one. So you can also use another wire mesh, the one that has a square-like boss. That one is of two types. One is made of something like metal or aluminium, or I don't know how to say it. You use that particular one because there are two types. The stronger one, that is what you need to use. So any of them you use, they all have their own advantage and their own disadvantage. So this is, you can use this one, you can use a fencing wire mesh, but if you are using the fencing wire mesh, it lasts very long, but you need to buy a smaller net to cover it up so that birds will not come into the farm to eat your birds. Then lastly, when you are using something like this to do your net, you see the roof of the zinc, there is an opening there. The cutoff, if you do cutoff, the cutoff, you use it to cover that net. But in order to cut down costs when you are doing your net, instead of doing it in a straight form, you can put it up and down. You know this is 4 feet. You measure for to let the spacing be 4 feet so that when you put it straight, from straight downward, you cut it. On that process, you will not have any form of short off cut. Should in case you want to use this kind of net, instead of doing this way, instead of opening this way, you open this way, you go up, you put it down, you from there roll it down, from down to up here, you complete the job. That is how you keep on doing it. When you do it that way, you will not have any form of cut, off cut, because if there is a off cut, it will be a waste. It will be a waste of material. But should in case you do the long type, if you do the long type, you are going to have an off cut. That off cut is not also a waste. You use the off cut to cover the up of your roof so that birds wouldn't fly through those places and enter the farm. The reason why you are using this kind of net is to reduce the influx of predators or specifically birds to come into the place to eat your feet. So that is why you have to use the off cut to cover the up. So should in case you want to do your poultry house, after finish building your house, you want to use net, you can use this. This is good. The other one that is like bus type, we have the thick one, have the light one. Don't use the light one, use the thick one, super something, that is the name. You use that one lasts longer, or you use the bigger one if there is no much bed in your location. So these are ways to build or to net your building. And after putting your net, you use your batting. This is called batting, but in the western part of Nigeria, it's called tie rod. So I don't know the part if it is in north or south or east. In the south, we call it batting. We call it batting or tie rod. Use it to cover the net. It gives it a good fitting. Then do a finishing touch by plastering it. You can see how beautiful this looks like. Then you do it around your poultry house. Birds will not go inside, but the disadvantage now is the dust. And whenever you want to clean the dust, you clean the dust from inside so that the dust flows out. You don't clean the dust outside so that you can control the net, control the disease there. Finally, is after putting your net, the next thing is for you to put your cover to cover them in case of rainy season or too much wind. You need the covering. You can use cellophane, you can use tarpaulin. In the rolling form, you put it up there, you roll it up, you roll it down depending on the temperature of the bed. Remember, temperature have an adverse effect on your bed. If there is too much heat, their egg production, which is your profit, drops. So when you want to make maximum profit in your bed, ensure that the temperature in your poultry farm is controlled. Let the temperature not be too high. So should in case you want us to build, we also build, we do the A to Z of your poultry farm. We do the A to Z on your poultry farm. You want cages, you want manure scraper, you want manure dryer, you want us to build the poultry pen for you, you want us to do the A to Z of poultry farm. That is what we do. We are into fishery, we are into piggery, we are into greenhouse, we are into several things. So if you want to go into farm or you love farm, please click on the subscribe button to follow us. Click on the notification button to be notified each time we upload a new video. Share our video if this adds to your knowledge, and give us a thumbs up. So should in case you want to do anything of this, your poultry house or any kind of farm setup you want to, the people you can reach out to us. Our number is 080 36 92 57 18. If you are not in Nigeria, remember to put our country code +2348036925718. Always know that your satisfaction is our optimum desire. Thank you and do have a blessed day.